YouTube. If you're watching this video, if you are here, you're probably going through the process at Meps, the military entrance military entrance processing station. Yeah, if you're watching this video, you're probably going through the army or the military in general. You're trying to join and you are asking yourself what is all about these waivers, what is all about Meps, why is it taking so long, and am I gonna be disqualified? Are they gonna let me in? Like, until when are they gonna be looking for stuff? What else would they be checking about me to let me join the military? Welcome on this channel. I am Sergio, and on this channel USK2. If you're watching this video, that means I've actually enlisted into the US Army. Yes, I'm saying that because I'm recording this video from home and I'm about to ship out to my basic training, and I will not release any video if I'm not in. Yeah, I need to have a good idea, and I want to share my personal experience about Meps, about all the waivers that I went through. I want to say first of all that everything that I'm sharing on this channel is my personal point of view, is my personal experience, and I do not speak of the US military or the US Army for any kind of shape. Nope, I do not speak for anyone but for myself and sharing only my journey here on this YouTube. So please, if you want me to do more, if you want me to share my experience, the thing that I go through, the difficulties, the lessons that I will be indulging, that I'll be learning, please do subscribe, like, and drop in the comment section your question, and we're gonna discuss, we're gonna talk about it. USK2, that's why I created this channel originally. You see, I still have my hair, that should let you know, and I still have earrings. Yeah, I'm recording all this to remember how it felt as a civilian versus how it's gonna feel like as a soldier, US soldier about to. So yeah, let's talk about Meps, and then we're gonna jump into into waivers. I've been trying to join for the past few years. I tried 3 times. The first time I was really young. I was really young, and just got married. By then I had a kid, and well, the wife didn't like the idea, and I just came in the US. I was about 22 years old, and I was like, well, let me try that. But she didn't go with the idea, and love conquers all. I said, okay, I'll hear you, and I would not do it. Now, it being my passion, it being something that I would love to do, that I always wanted to do. My nickname is Sergeant. That's my nickname, Sergeant. Then the people in my neighborhood back in Cameroon, Douala, Bipanda, if you know where that is, Google it. Bipanda, Douala, Cameroon in Africa. You're gonna find where I'm from. And yeah, I always wanted to be in the military, some type of like somehow be behind my one of my uncles, who we call commandant. He's a commander. He's a commander, and then he always inspired me. Okay, going on vacation in his house, him showing us his guns and all that. It was a good feeling. And I remember those days. So yes, I always had that dream. And this man in my neighborhood, that every time that I was meeting him in the street, he would be like, when are you becoming a corporal? Like, when are you becoming a corporal? Because my nickname, remember, was Sergeant. And he would be like, when are you becoming a corporal? And today, when I realized that a corporal is under a sergeant, I'm like, oh, that man, I wish he knew today. I wish I could go back home and see him in my uniform and be like, look, a corporal is actually under a sergeant. So me being a sergeant, I passed that step already. I'm proud to be here, and thank you for the blessing. Yeah, that's what I would love to tell him, or at least to represent once I'm back home. So yeah, that's the little history or the little story about where I come from and why I'm joining. It's always been a dream. Tried it 3 times. The second time was in the reserve during CV19, and I dropped it because I love being at home. But this third time, joining at 34, I was like, if I don't do it now, I will probably never going to do it. And I decided, I went ahead and I joined. So the process, because I'm at this age, some tickets here, some criminal background, which is not really bad because I'm not guilty of anything, but because it had happened, you need a waiver. You need to express to tell why that happened, when it happened, and what was the consequences, if you had to pay any fine, if you had to do any community service, if you had to go to counseling. They want to know why, when, and how. Okay, the outcome. They want to know everything about your life. So I had to go through the moral waivers. All right, it's kind of like criminal, but it has nothing to do with criminal. They just needed to know because there was no criminal activities involved. So they needed to know what had happened and how it got resolved. Went through that, did what I did, spoke with the commander, with the captain. I spoke with the captain and I spoke with few lieutenants. They interviewed me, interviewed the wife. They met, yes. Interviewed me, interviewed the wife, and check on us. They cleared me. Medically, I'm on the phone. Okay?
Daddy?
Yes. Medically, I did not have no issue. Yes, I'm gonna get back on the Meps process. Medically, I didn't have no issue. Even at 34 years old, I'm healthy, strong, mentally and physically, ready to deploy, engage, and destroy all enemies. Like if you know your soldier. Thank you, buddy. If you know your soldier creed, then you stand ready. You always stand ready. So yes, I do stand ready, and then ready for all this process. So medically, I didn't have no issue enlisting. You guys do not go on the road. Come back here. I didn't have no issue enlisting medically. More like dependent waivers I have so far. Biologically 4, all right, children, and because of that, you need a waiver. I believe with the Navy, after 1 dependent, like 1 kid and a wife, that's 2 dependent. That's the max. After that, you need a waiver. With the Air Force, there's also a restriction. You need a waiver. With the Army, they're a little bit lenient, but you still need a waiver because they want to make sure. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. They want to make sure that you actually can afford taking care of them with the salary that you're gonna get. And if you have a good support system, getting into the military and doing your duty, super important. So I needed a dependency waiver. I needed a moral waiver. I needed no age, no medical waiver, and stuff like that. So I was clear with all that. How long did it take? Boy, let me tell you something. It took a while. And I want to if I can give you any advice, it will be this one. Be patient. Do not, for any reason, do not quit your job. Keep your job, stay active, do something professionally until you have an answer, until you have a date to ship, until you are 100% sure that you are enlisting. Hear from somebody that went through it, okay? Do not quit your job, do not change your habit, do not do nothing because you are preparing yourself from enlisting, because the waiver process takes a while. If they have a change of command, if they have a change of recruiters, If anything happen, that's just how it's gonna be longer. And be on top of it. Anything that you think that your recruiter might need, be on top of it. Medically, go ahead and print out your records. If you know you have something and it's been worked out for over a year or 2 or 5 years, if you are clear, print out, go and get your record. If you have some school document that you want to enlist as an E4 or as an officer, if you're from Africa, from out of here, and you have a diploma or a high school degree that is not in English, go ahead and translate that and have an equivalent, because they will need that for you to enlist. And if you don't have all this, it's just going to take a while. Yes, I needed to translate my high school degree. I have some college credits, which wasn't enough for me to enlist as an E4. You guys come back. I have some credit, but it wasn't enough for me to get in as an E4. So I went another route, but I had to pay for it because I didn't want it to be too long. I paid for my document translation, my high school, because it is in French. I paid for that. I took care of it, and so yes, be on top of it. The recruiter will do their part. Again, don't forget, I'm not 18, I'm not 19, I'm not 20, I'm 34. For that, they will be like, oh, is this serious? Oh, I'm not wasting my time with him. So by the time I scored on my ASVAB, I scored like 72. It was like, oh yeah, this guy, he's sharp. He's sharp. He's worth it. So I scored that on my ASVAB. I was good medically. I didn't have no crazy thing on my background check. You were like, all right, now that the ASVAB is good, we got some basic document. You have your application in. We got all documents. Let's go to Meps. So I went to Meps. I got clear medically. I did eye check, ear check, body, like physical check. I confirmed my ASVAB score because I did the PICAT, and then I confirmed the ASVAB. That's a video for another time. And then I was just now time to choose my job. But that was like what the first time I went to Meps. The second time I went back after all my waivers got approved. Like I said, over a year. I waited like 3 months, at least 6 months, because I spoke with so many, at least 3 people, like a lieutenant, a captain, a commander, and he has to go through user rec. So many people. I thought at some point he could track it, he could see where it was, and sometimes he couldn't because it was just on top, above his pay grade. So my recruiter, and again, really thank you to my surgeon. I think it was a sergeant first class. I can't put his name out here because I do not have the authorization. He hasn't allowed me to mention his name. If he does, go ahead and subscribe, because my next video will be with him. If it's okay for me to mention him and for us to do an interview, he's about to drop me to Meps again in few days, Sunday, because I'm shipping on Monday from this date. But today will not be, you will not be watching this video as I'm making it right now. Yes, if you watch this video, know that I'm currently at basic combat training, learning how to become a US soldier. So if he does accept, we're gonna do an interview, and that will be next after this one. At least a week from this one, I will be posting that interview with him, and we're gonna go through the question: what you need, what the process, what if you have a green card, what if you are out of the country, what is the age, any question that you might have, drop it in the comments, and I will relate the ones that I have, and I will let him express or elaborate more in what people face, like the difficulties that people face while enlisting into the US Army. If you have a degree, like a bachelor, a master, or a PhD, and you want to join, yes, you can be an officer straight up, make big bangs, big money, be an officer, or enlist as an E4 if you have an experience and a specialty. If you're an expert in you have a special skill, you can join in as an E4 already. If not active duty, which I am, you can be reserve, you can be National Guard, you can be yes, or active guard reserve. Now, Marines, US Army, US Air Force, Space Force, US Navy, it's all up to you. It really depends on you. What's the best? They're all US military. If something goes left, we all going to respond. Doesn't matter. Your job does matter. And I'm not going to elaborate more about my job on this video. I'm going to come back and I will talk about it down the road. I just wanted to make this video really not too short, but I wanted to speak of my experience on the Meps and especially the waivers, the waiver process. Yes, you need to be patient and be pushy. I would not go more than 3 days, at the most 5 days to a week, without contacting my recruiter. Hey, I have this that came up. I'm exercising. I'm learning this. I heard this. What do you think? Is there any improvement? Is there anything up? Be on top of the game. Provide every document that your recruiter might need, and do not delay. Don't be the cause of delaying their process, and let them do what they know how to do best. They need soldiers. They need you to become a US soldier. So you should do your part and let them do their part. But one thing, like I said earlier, do not quit or give up on whatever professional activities that you are doing currently. That's gonna chew you in the back. That's gonna, yeah, you might regret. If it doesn't work out, what do? You gotta go back to it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Keep your current job until you have a date, you have signed, you have enlisted. All right. That being said, if you want to know more about anything, you want to learn my experience, that's what I'll be doing on this channel. I know I'm going to have a lot to say, what went down on basic training, during in process, during the red phase, the blue phase, the white phase, the blue phase, during the yellow phase, during the forge, at AIT, the people that I meet. Yeah, I'm going to be asking people why they joined the US Army. Might be myself, I need to make a video about why I joined the US Army. All right, and it might not be the US Army, it might be the Air Force. That might be your choice. So if you were to join the US military, what branch will you choose? That's all I want to know. US Army 1, US Air Force 2, US Navy 3, US Marines 4, US Air Force, Space Force 5. Go ahead down in the comment section and let me know your point of view. And if you have more questions, do not hesitate. I'm Sergio, like I said, and thank you for checking with me on this channel. Until next time, probably after my basic training, I'll be back with more videos. Peace out.